Hey guys, welcome back to Gut Plays Trains, and today I'm going to show you what I've been working on. So I got a bunch of 048 track and curves here, and also two left hands and two right hand switches. So right now that's an 036 turnaround there that I made, and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to pull that out, and I'm going to replace that with all 048. So here's the 048 switch. You can see now it doesn't exactly fit there, but we're going to make it fit, and everything will be fine. Alright, here we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put in a half turn. So that's an 048 half, and I don't think it's showing up in the picture too well. And I'm going to put one here, and I'll put one on the other side there. And then hopefully it'll be able to reach across there and everything will line up. Okay guys, well as you can see we got a little bit of a problem here. So it did not line up. I could make it line up except for one little problem, which is that this table is only so long, okay? It's like 10 feet long. And as you can see, like there's no room for me to push that track down further. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to do this. Here we go. Okay, so now this worked. What I did was instead of the halves, I used one full section of 048 turn there, and then so that just leaves me with having to fill in the gaps. So that's a 4.5. That's a 4.5 inch piece, and that's 1.75, 1 3/4 inch piece. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'll fit this together, and then we'll see how it hooks up. Now see what I've got here is I got a 5 inch, 4.5, 1 3/4, and that one's 1 3/8. Yeah. And I went ahead and so on either side I've got the actual switch and then a full curve piece. And that fit. But now on this side I'm going to have to fill this in, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to use a spacer. Yep. So I had to come in here and use a spacer. So what I did was I've got a 10 inch and then a 1 3/4 inch piece. And that's it. That makes a nice big turnaround for us. So that's all 148. And here at this end here near the wall I've got good clearance, and at the other end I've got good clearance too. So I'm pretty happy with this, and that just leaves me to go ahead and clean this off a little bit, and we'll hook her up and we'll go ahead and test it. Okay, so what you didn't see was I went ahead and I tried running this train here, and it would not go, and the reason was because that red piece had come off. I don't know how that would come off of there, but as you can see, once I replaced that, now I've got good power. Now I got the power turned all the way up here, so I could just flip these switches and see what's going on. And it looks like they work, although I will say there's no spring in that. In the switch thing, in the lever thing, there's no spring in there, so it just like stays at one end or the other, and it's only firing on one side. So I'm not too happy about that. Let's go ahead and we'll run this. Now this, I use this as one of my 2 test engines because it's my heaviest engine that I've got. That's a Williams. That's a Williams engine that I bought years ago. Now they're run by Bachmann, I think. And so yeah, I'm not having any problems with it. It's running fine, and it goes slowly through the switch and it doesn't hang up. So I'm going to turn it around, throw the switch, and we'll go into the switch here. And as you're going to see, that did not work. So I cleaned off, there was a little bit of black on there, so I cleaned that off. It did not cook the track at all. And the motor's fine. The engine's fine, I mean. Let's run through this a couple times each direction and just make sure. What I'll tell you, I didn't show it here in the video, is I could not get this engine to go through that switch once I threw it going backwards. I don't know why, but it picks that frog every time, and so what that means is that the front of that engine pulls that track over, and it ends up splitting the engine, and goes one half goes one way and the other half goes the other way. But what I think it is, and I'm going to mess around with it some more, but what I think it is, the track power. So see, if there's not enough track power, I'll just manually throw that. So I manually threw that all the way over. It's completely over. And so, okay, so it did not pick the frog there. So it went right through there, and that's just fine. Now, obviously, this is on the other side, and I'll experiment going both directions. But what I think is going on is I think that it's got to have really high power. And once again, like, this thing does switch, but it only switches when I throw it to the one side. So I'm not really sure what's going on with that. But if that power is too low, it will not switch at all. So I think that's because these are made to be used with command control, and command control is a steady voltage. So I went ahead and I switched out, and this is one of my lighter engines, and I use this to test my track too. And as you can see, I'm having no problems with this one, and I've got it going pretty fast now, so I've got real high power to the track. And I stopped it, and we're going to go through. It was fine. And fine. Let's go ahead and throw that switch. And it went through the switch. So that's working. So basically, I think the trick with these switches is they have to have good high power to them. So we're going to have to figure that out. But anyway, hope you don't mind. This is my newest video, and I hope you liked it. And please subscribe and click like for more.